This episode will be completely taken out of context. Welcome to the Fact Check This podcast.
All right, Fact Check This daily. And instead of looking at more of Trump's appointees, I'm going to wait and probably pick back up on those maybe next week. But for today, I posted about this on Facebook, and I wanted to share it everywhere else as well, and also look at an article about it and some other stuff. How crazy is it that they're still counting votes in some places? How crazy is it also that it seems like the only votes that have been getting counted for the last week and a half are Democrat votes? That's oddly suspicious when you look at the numbers day to day, and the only number that changes is the Democrat votes on a day to day. I don't know. Seems a little bit fishy. But with that happening, the Republican in running for Senate in Pennsylvania All right. I apologize. We're having a little bit of a snowstorm with some sleet. It's not really a snowstorm so much as it's heavy flurries and some sleet mixed in. And I guess it caused my internet to crash out. So I had to switch over to my my hotspot. Anyway, as I was saying, how crazy is it that they're still counting votes all over the place? How crazy is it also that if you check the numbers day to day, it seems like pretty much the only votes that are getting counted are Democrat votes? That's really suspicious. But with that, there is some happenings going on in Pennsylvania specifically with some of that suspicious counting. So the Republican candidate for Senate in Pennsylvania, I can't remember the guy's name, McCormick maybe. I know Bob Casey's the guy he was running against. Casey does not have a path to victory. It's very clear that Casey was the winner by a significant amount. Like enough that a recount is not going to change the outcome of the election. But because it was within the percentage that is required for the state of Pennsylvania to do a recount, they are now going back and doing recounts. And there are Democrats in the state who are or have openly admitted that they were counting illegally cast ballots in the recount. So the RNC or Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania filed a suit on it, took it to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and the Pennsylvania Supreme Court upheld. You cannot do that. You cannot count ballots that are illegally cast, period. So right, like this is all kind of a no-brainer, right? Except that Democrats have to be told not to do illegal shit, apparently. So recount is going on. And of all the things, the Democrat darling governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, came out and sides with the GOP and the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. So we'll run through a Newsweek article here right quick. Pennsylvania recount update. Shapiro sides with GOP against faulty ballots. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has urged county election boards to respect a decision by the state Supreme Court preventing them from counting ballots that are either undated or incorrectly dated in the state's Senate race. Speaking on Monday following the ruling, Shapiro said, "Any insinuation that our laws can be ignored or do not matter is irresponsible and does damage to the faith in our electoral process. The rule of laws matter in Pennsylvania." And the fact that this has to be said to the Democrats counting the votes is absolutely fucking insane. But here we are. Morning, Tyler. The Pennsylvania Senate race pitted Democratic incumbent Senator Bob Casey against Republican challenger David McCormick. The GOP candidate leads by around 17,000 votes, and the AP has called the race in his favor, but the margin of less than 0.5 percentage points has triggered an automatic recount as required by state law. If McCormick's victory is confirmed, it would leave the Republicans with 53 senators against 47 aligned with the Democrats. In Monday's 4-3 ruling, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court reaffirmed a prior decision instructing counties not to count ballots that came in undated or incorrectly dated envelopes. Under state law, voters are required to sign and date the outer return envelope of their ballot, sparking a series of lawsuits over what should happen to ballots where this is done incorrectly or not at all. The Republican National Committee, which brought the latest lawsuit, has been arguing these ballots are not valid. Election officials in a number of counties, including Bucks, Philadelphia, and Montgomery, had decided to defy the first Pennsylvania Supreme Court pre-election guidance and count incorrectly dated ballots. Justifying this decision, Bob Harvey Jr., a Democrat who chairs the Bucks County Election Board, said it is a pretty stupid thing to not count someone's vote simply because they didn't date an envelope for a ballot. Okay, sure. Maybe, except that what you run into by not actually having dated, signed, properly documented ballots, because when you get your mail-in ballot, it has to be verified through the way it's returned in states like Pennsylvania, or like here, you have to fill out all kinds of. You have to get like a pre-approval to get a ballot, an absentee ballot. So, but like there's steps and stuff. So if you just allow ballots to come in unsigned, undated, wrong dates, whatever, that opens it up to anybody can do whatever they want, and then there is no integrity. Like now, nobody can trust, and that's the thing that has been a big talking point for a number of elections is the integrity of the votes being counted. And anything that calls that integrity into question, that is actually the threat to democracy, right? But they don't want to talk about that. So, however, in its latest ruling, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was unequivocal, stating all respondents, including the Board of Elections in Bucks County, Montgomery County, and Philadelphia County, shall comply with the prior rulings of this court. According to the New York Times, the ruling will impact around 400 ballots in Bucks County, 600 in Philadelphia, and an unspecified total in Montgomery. Newsweek contacted the Republican and Democratic parties in Pennsylvania for a comment on Tuesday outside of regular office hours via email and online inquiry form, respectively. In a statement following the ruling, Shapiro said the Department of State had advised counties repeatedly of their duty to segregate challenged provisional ballots and undated ballots in anticipation of a ruling by the court. The court has now ruled on the counting of these ballots specific to the November 5th, 2024 election, and I expect all county election officials to adhere to this ruling and all the applicable laws governing our elections. Responding to the court ruling on X, Republican Party Chairman Michael Whatley said, following our latest RNC lawsuit today, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled yet again that undated ballots cannot be counted. No more excuses. Election officials in Bucks, Montgomery, Philadelphia, and other counties have absolutely no choice but to reject illegal ballots. We will hold them to it, protect the vote. Apparently referring to those county officials who defied the initial court ruling, Chris LaCivita, a senior advisor to Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, posted, "They will go to jail, count on it." I don't know if that'll actually happen, but I mean, if you're going to do things illegally like that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least take them to court and show that there are consequences for your actions. Last week saw Trump unveil a number of his top administration officials, including Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, RFK Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services, and Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. To assume these positions, each candidate must be approved by a simple majority in the Senate following confirmation hearings, which is why it's important to have the Senate control of the Senate. It's interesting that they would so brazenly and openly admit that they were doing it. There were also some questionable things that happened in Wisconsin and Michigan during the counting of their ballots, specifically for the Senate seats in each of those states. So it's been... Okay. Thank you, Spud, for the pronunciation. I will do better next time. La Civita. All right. What did I say? La Civita? Close enough. Close enough for a redneck. Anyway, so I think one of the things that Trump has talked about that would be a really good idea is, yes, and they absolutely stole seats in Arizona, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Michigan and Wisconsin were pretty blatant, and I wasn't paying enough attention to Arizona, but I figured they were going to do that. I figured they were going to do it there as well. I was a little less suspicious of Arizona because I just don't think Kari Lake is that popular. But I think she's fine. I think she's just she's punching above her weight class with running for governor and Senate. Like, I think she should do some other types of stuff first, but that's neither here nor there. I think one of the things that Trump has talked about is possibly a ID requirement, like a nationwide voting ID requirement, because there are always a lot of really suspicious things that go on in the states that don't have voter ID requirements or have very lax ones. But in the meantime, let's hear from the guy who turned Pennsylvania red this year, and what his plans are for the future, specifically in Bucks County, addressing the officials in that county who are doing some shady shit. This is Scott Pressler.
Good morning. Bucks County has been in the news a lot this year. Earlier, we flipped Bucks County from blue to red, and for the first time in modern history, there are more registered Republicans than Democrats here in this county. Number two, voters were disenfranchised in this county, and in fact, I want to thank Chairman Michael Whatley of the RNC and co-chair Laura Trump for suing to make sure that we had 3 additional days of early in-person voting, because voters waiting in line to do in-person, on-demand, mail-in voting were told that they couldn't vote until 5 o'clock, that the line was cut off. So thank you to the Republican Party for suing Bucks County and fighting for election integrity. And now, here before us, it's on the world stage that we have a commissioner, quote, by Diane Marsiglia, precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws any time they want. And if I, meaning Diane Marsiglia, violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it. Well, Commissioner, the court already ruled that undated and misdated mail-in ballots could not be counted. You knew that going into the meeting. And I want to congratulate the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This speech I'm doing right now is going to be seen by millions across the country, the Commonwealth, and the world. And I have a message. Congratulations to President-elect Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America. Congratulations to Senator-elect Dave McCormick, and we are not going to allow Democrats to steal this seat from us. Furthermore, congratulations, because we defeated Matt Cartwright, giving President Trump an additional seat in Congress. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Rob Bresnahan. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Ryan McKenzie, defeating Democrats Susan Wild in Allentown and Lehigh. And I have a message. Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
how about it?
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit. Mark Elias and his cronies must be disbarred from practicing law in Pennsylvania, any of his cronies, for the misconduct that they did. I want you to know that I am going to spend all of my time in Bucks County for the next 3 years, making sure that we take back this county. Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today.
That's the way to do it. Mobilize and take these people down that are in these seats. That's how you make changes on a local level. And then the counties can't fortify elections or count illegal ballots or anything like that. So that's all I got for today. I thought we should talk about some of that stuff. I will be back tomorrow. I've got a couple smaller news stories that are becoming bigger news stories that I think are worth talking about, that I don't think are getting enough play in the news right now. So anyway, I'll talk about. I gotta pick one. I'm trying to keep these under 15 minutes, and today I had internet problems for the first 3 minutes of this, so running a little bit long. But I'll be back tomorrow with another story, and yeah, I'll see you then. Later.